And this is the cab that's going to go on that mogul to make it into a Brooks mogul. So let's see, I can rotate this around. All right, so if you look underneath, you can see that there's wood modeling for the roof. The roof is of course separate from the body. The doors will open and close. This window slides. If I rotate this around, oh dear, now I've gone and turned it sideways. If I rotate it around to the back, you can see the doors in there, and of course the wood. These are plugs for the windows here. So in other words, or for the front windows and the back windows. Let's see if I can get it right. So back here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of square plastic, stick it in the hole, and then there's going to be this shape with the rectangle to push in behind it so it seals it in there. And like I said, the roof comes off so that I'll be able to access the inside for detailing. This should be a direct bolt-on. I measured all the Bachmann screw spots and tried to replicate them as close as I could, as well as where the handrails and the piping and all that stuff comes out. I just basically copied the best that I could find from the Bachmann cab and tried to put it all into here. So it should be just a straight up replacement, which I'm kind of hoping will be the case. Right, so now I've shown you the cab. So let's have a look at, all right, so we're going to open up Draft Site, and we'll have a look at the decal set that I've created. Where are we here? Striping kit. Oops, right, that's the one I deleted. Alright, so now what I have here is the tender decals, and they look out of place here because I've got it set to show the line weights, right? But what I've got here is, oh dear, yes, the blue background is always an issue. So this is set up to go out to the printer, and the printer wants it so that the blue background makes sure that anything that's white or black will show up when he gets to it. So it's not going to turn out like this because this is just Draft Site showing it with the line weights thick, okay? But that's the tender decals with a few other things. And let's see, what have I got here? I've also got the headlight decaling, and I've got 3 of the counterweight decals, and then I've also got some replacement decals in here for my 10-wheeler that I didn't quite get right when I first did it. Anyway, all this decaling is based on Dave Fletcher's drawing of the Klondike Mines locomotive, which of course was Kansas Central first. This is all based on his drawing of what the Brooks locomotive paint job would have looked like when it was new. So up here we have the decals for what's going to go on the tender trucks, and these are the bands to go around the top and bottom of the tank, and of course the panels for in the middle. This one here will go around the water leg. This is facing with the drop shadow lettering. I don't know if the blue will hide it, but drop shadow lettering. Okay, and I now have another sheet just for the locomotive, which I haven't finished yet. This one's ready to go. I just have to export it and send it off. All right, so folks, some fun stuff today. Here is, it doesn't say, there we go, Shapeways. My box just came in, and I was showing you the cab earlier. This came in yesterday. I haven't gotten a chance to open it yet. So here we have an unboxing of my stuff from Shapeways. So what do we got here? Okay, stuff that. All right. Well bubble wrapped. Ah, ooh, the roof. So there's the roof. I'll get these out and have a look at them in detail in a minute. So there's the roof. Oh yeah, there's one of the doors. Ooh, I like the look of that. Another door. Some more wrapping, and then the piece of resistance. Look at that. Wow. Okay, I'm pretty chuffed with that. So there's the cab and the cab windows, and then the interior plugs for where the glass will go. And that is that. Wow. Okay. So let's have a look at the big beast. It's kind of pebbly, so I'm going to end up have to do some work to it. It's not just perfectly glass smooth, so I'm going to have to spend a bit of time on it. And the window frame, ooh, that's good thing it's going to have a glass backer and a plug to go over it. Yeah, and then of course on the inside, right, on the inside we have the window plugs. So these are going to go in here after I put in my piece of glass, and that will just fill that space, and that'll just be painted in. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And then what about the windows? Let's have a look. So this is the sliding windows. It has a slot down the middle of it. Hopefully this will work, that I can just shove a piece of 5 thou clear plastic in there. And then that should slide up. Oh, that does too. Very nice. And a little bit of bending, and it should drop into the slider. And then we'll have a closable window. Ooh, yes. Boy, I like that. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Actually, I might be able to slide this in before I put in the door. Let's see, will it go? No, it won't. That was an interesting idea. So there's that. And then these pieces, these will go in the back area here and fill in that space. Once again, once I get the piece of clear plastic in there. So that's nice. Wow, it fits very nice. Ooh, I like that. And the doors. What do we got with the doors? And again, with the doors, I got a slot down the middle of the door, so I should be able to just slide that in there. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do this more than once because those pins look awfully thin. All right, again, put that in there, and then a little bit of a bend, and hopefully that'll sit up in there, and then that'll be the door. Wow. Yeah, very nice. Wow, that turned out really nicely. Can't wait to see this on the locomotive. Right, so here I am decaling my cab. So how do you get these outlines around the windows? Yeah, it's been an interesting challenge. So I guess I'm going to do this window now. We'll see how this works out. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking my decal sheet. Where's my decal sheet? There's my decal sheet. And cutting as close to the line as I can get it without going over, of course. And same on this side. Getting nice and tight to it. And then taking it off there. And then going around the arch. Okay, so there's the piece that I want. Now, even that though doesn't give me a piece that I can put on the cab. And just you'll notice that the cab has a bit of shine to it. That's because if you look in this area, you can see that there's no shine here. That's the factory finish from Shapeways. I took this and sanded it with 400 grit sandpaper and then painted it black again. Or actually I primered it first, then painted it black, then sanded it again, and then went and hit it again with some more black to give it a bit more of a surface that the decals can bite into. I mean, you can see that up here it's still pretty pebbly, but I put the decals on around the outside and then hit it with clear coat in order to seal it on there. So hopefully they'll stay into place. Now, as far as this one, to get this decal ready to go into place, I can't, what am I going to do with this, right? So I end up cutting them into two pieces. So I'm going to basically slice right there. Whoops, maybe a little bit wide, but we'll see. And then I'm going to work my way around the arch, trimming as I go. And of course, being careful not to get into the color of the decal. And I'm actually probably leaving a bit too much, but it will be what it will be. Like that. And then we'll cut it right across there. And then finish taking this off. Okay, and that should separate. So now that goes on the water. There we go. I got a little plate on the side here with a bit of water. You don't leave it floating. Just get it wet, pull it back out. It'll sit in its own pool of water anyway. Then I'm going to take the cab and rub my finger on it to get some water on the surface, which will help the decal stick to it. And even this is not really easy because it goes around the corner. So now I just kind of set it on here. I'm going to actually pull this down a little bit, and then hopefully I can kind of slide the decal up and off like that, and then touch it down with my finger and pull the rest of the carrier out of there. And thankfully it stayed relatively stuck to the table. Get a bit of water on my finger, and I'm using an old number 11 with that's been dulled so that it doesn't grab the decal sheet. And then I'm just going to pull it into position Like I said, this isn't a lot of fun, but it will get, actually, that's not bad right there. How much more fooling around do you do, right? I mean, yeah, you know what, that's actually pretty good. I think now would be the time to throw the other half on there and make sure that it's together. Anyway, that's the process I've been using for doing the striping on these things. If you're just going to leave it black, then don't worry about the striping. Okay. Well, folks, I mentioned I would get some video of this thing once the cab was together. Okay, the locomotive is just sitting here all in pieces. I just kind of stuck it together so that you could get a look at the cab. All right, so this is the Brooks cab that will fit, should be a complete screw together replacement for the Bachmann Baldwin cab. Printed on Shapeways, and again you can see that the tender is not completely decaled, nor is the locomotive decaled completely. Okay, but there's the cab with sliding side windows, and well, the front, oh well, the doors actually do open, but of course now I've got the injector pipes in the way, but the doors do function and sit properly. The cab roof, well, again, like I said, it's just sitting here. The cab roof is just a friction fit, so there it is. Okay, there's the cab roof underneath, and like I said, it's all just sitting here, but that just sits on top, and it's a good friction fit. Right, so if you find yourself interested in turning your Baldwin into a Brooks, this cab and all the windows and the roof are available on my Shapeways site, which would be Big Stacks Little Locomotives, the same as my blog, on Shapeways. Okay, so hopefully in another month or two I'll have this thing completed and running, but for now it's just the cab. Thanks.